Hello, my name is Fred Amrine and welcome to EFC Plus, the college funding solution. Today we're going to talk about EFC, or Expected Family Contribution. Actually, it's part of our founding name and why we've picked EFC as a identifier for our company, because that's what we do as part of the process for college funding. So we just want to try to understand what the EFC means. There's a lot of misinformation about this calculation or how it's used for your positioning in the financial aid process. So one, you get your EFC, or Expected Family Contribution, by completing the FAFSA form. There is a secondary method called the CSS profile that will also generate an Expected Family Contribution, but that is specific to every school and you will not have access to see what that number is. By completing the FAFSA form, for every school that uses federal money, you will need to complete the FAFSA form. That's what will allow you to qualify for those federal monies. By completing the FAFSA form, you get what's called a student aid report. At that point in time, your EFC number will be confirmed based on the information submitted. Probably the biggest misunderstanding about this number, your Expected Family Contribution, is that it's one number. It is in total, but actually there's 4 separate calculations that go with this. Parents' income, parents' assets, child's income, child's assets. As I said before, there's actually 2 methodologies. As a general statement, the more competitive or unique schools will use a secondary process called the CSS profiles, one method, or is also called the institutional methodology. Some schools actually have their own number or own process that they use. The last part is you need to understand that number so that you can determine how you'll qualify and what the school is going to expect you to pay at a minimum. Having that information is very, very important. Just a quick note on the differences between the federal methodology and the institutional methodology. As I said, it's 4 quadrants. The number of students in school will have an impact, your family size, age of the oldest parents, type of assets, tax filing status, and your family structure. All will have an impact on the federal methodology. 3 biggest misconceptions is on the federal methodology, there's 3 things not included. Family-owned business, retirement accounts, and your home equity are the 3 major things that are not included on the federal methodology. On the institutional methodology, that will vary school to school. So the number on your FAFSA or your EFC number, that will be the same number no matter what school you apply to. So if you're applying to a high-end school and a state school, your EFC number will be the same at each of those schools. On the institutional methodology, this is subjective to each school's interpretation of what they want to include in that number. So some schools may include home equity, some may include retirement accounts, some may look at different things as far as your family business. The family business will be included in that number. The assets and things like that are weighted differently in each of these calculations. You just need to understand that the federal number is public information. You'll be able to see that calculation is available to you. On the institutional side, that is not. Our EFC Plus system does an estimation of both methods, both numbers, so you can at least get a ballpark of what you could expect at each of the schools. But again, it will vary school to school and is very difficult to estimate. Again, my name is Fred Amrine. Thank you for joining us. And if you need more information, please visit us on EFC Plus and also visit our free calculator and YouTube channel. Thanks and have a great day.